Last week, seemingly out of nowhere, I nearly had a panic attack. I don't share this in an attempt to garner sympathy, but rather to share a victory. The thing is, a few years ago I would have been overcome, and this time I overcame. In today's video, I'm going to share some things that help me to feel calmer. So whether you yourself suffer from panic attacks, or whether more general stress and anxiety ails you, these techniques are designed to help you feel calmer in 10 minutes or less. It's worth saying though that I share these things more from the perspective of a recovered patient than of a doctor. Some of these items were learned through personal research, some through counsellors, some through doctors, but at the end of the day it is not medical advice, so just bear that in mind. You're welcome to take what helps you and leave what doesn't. To begin, find yourself a safe place, somewhere peaceful and comforting like a favourite chair or a garden. If that's unavailable to you in the moment, simply close your eyes or soften your gaze, tune out the external stimuli and find a quiet place within yourself. The first technique, which you may have heard before, is deep breathing. When you feel anxious, there can be a tendency to take shallow breaths. This leads to less oxygen being circulated around the brain and heightened blood pressure, which will make you feel even worse. There are many kinds of breath work, of course, but the one I've personally found most helpful is a technique known as box breathing. First, breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4, and then hold for 4 at the bottom. You can repeat this 4 times or until you feel a sense of ease. The next thing sounds kind of funny, but I find that it really works, and that's to talk to yourself. Start by acknowledging and validating how you're feeling, but then counter your anxious thoughts with balance and reality. For example, you may say, "I know things feel really hard right now, but you'll have the strength to tackle it after a good night's sleep." Or, "I acknowledge that you feel overwhelmed by everything you need to do, but your internal worth is not based upon your external work." By giving yourself a fresh and kind message, you can start to shift away from anxious thought patterns. This takes practice, but over time it gets a lot easier.
Oh, my child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt.
Another helpful thing that can calm feelings of panic and anxiety is to ground yourself with something cold. This is one that I've used since I was a wee girl in school. Whenever I felt stressed or overwhelmed, I used to go into the school bathrooms and run my wrists under cold water. Somehow it would help to clear my head and ground me back into reality. Some other ways you can use this calming technique is by holding a cool stone or ice cube in your hand, taking a cold shower, or my personal favourite, going for a wild swim at the sea or in a lake.
But don't give up. Just hold on tight.
This brings us nicely on to number 4, which is to ground yourself in nature. If possible, go outside and take a walk somewhere beautiful where you can admire the trees and listen to the birdsong. Nature activities like hiking among the mountains or gazing up at the stars have an incredible way of bringing a sense of perspective, which can help alleviate anxiety. If you're in an office or in the city and unable to get outside at a moment's notice, then having a plant on your desk can be a good alternative. Even examining a leaf or a flower petal in your hand can be enough to distract your mind from your worries and give a sense of perspective. I am also a massive advocate of movement medicine, as moving the body can help to move the mindset. Something as simple as a solo dance party in your bedroom or doing 5 minutes of stretching can serve as a productive outlet for feelings of stress. I think that overall, learning to calm anxiety and de-escalate panic attacks and feelings of stress and nervousness comes down to learning to parent ourselves. Much in the same way that parents will go through a mental checklist to try and meet a baby's needs whenever they're getting upset, I think that we need to do the same for ourselves. You know, babies don't get worked up for no reason. There is often an unmet need there that they're trying to communicate to their caregiver because they can't actually meet their need themselves. I think that feelings of anxiety, upset and stress are very similar. The emotions aren't necessarily wrong in and of themselves, they're just a message of our body and our emotions trying to convey to us that we potentially have unmet needs. The positive thing here is that unlike a baby, most of us are able to meet our essential needs. So next time you're feeling anxious or stressed, I encourage you to consider whether your diet is good, whether you're drinking enough water, whether you're moving your body, whether your environment suits your individual lifestyle needs. Just in case all else fails and you're still feeling kind of rubbish, I've got one last technique to share with you, which I hope will help. I encourage you to follow along with me if you're able to. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand and you're going to place it here on your left shoulder. And then you're going to take your left hand and you're going to place it here on your right shoulder. Then you're going to give yourself a big squeeze, because sometimes what you really need is a good cuddle. This is a hug from me to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please support the channel by liking the video. Also share this video with someone who you think it might be beneficial for. Something else that would be really helpful is to leave a comment down below with any tips that you might have to do with decreasing anxiety. It could be that there's someone in the comment section who needs it. And finally, if you're new here, you're very welcome to subscribe for our future calming content. But until next time, it was lovely to have you here.